But it's all good. She said, my friends were here to support. I said, oh, so my friends who came down from Albany and Pete and Chris, they were here to help you when I went to my lung surgery?
Not so much.
I said, no, they showed up in the hospital.
Which is a fine thing to do, but I know you did the icky hands-on stuff, but that people don't want to do unless they have to do it. That's very strange that she doesn't put that together.
Well, she probably does. She's just... Listen.
But she's healthy now, right? I mean, she's not in the...
No, she's taking the whole 6 weeks. So
Okay.
she's not going back to work.
That's good.
I was very bad with her being my supervisor. We should have never done that in the first
That's
place.
interesting, yeah, I wondered about that.
You know, because dual relationships are not a good thing.
But it did work for a time, I gather.
Not really. It's been
Okay.
a struggle.
Okay.
You know, I owe my part in that, absolutely.
What do you think you might want to do, if not this? Because the thing is, you could bring your skill set any place.
Yeah.
You have a lot, chef, drug dealer.
I'm getting into some construction thing. You know.
Okay.
I might do both. You know, one in the morning, one in the afternoon.
Kind of like Liverpool Gary being a boxer and a hairdresser.
Does he do anything to them?
I don't think so. I don't think he would acquire any clients, but I'm sure he did it one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not from, sort of abusive childhood to, I don't know, bank robber or pimp or whatever, to psychotherapist. That's
Pimp or whatever.
whatever it
You're a
is.
fucking pimp.
But the way someone's either a prostitute or a madam, weren't you something like higher than pimp?
Yes,
Like you weren't the
yes.
guy with the fur coat
No.
Although that's a very funny image.
We
and
ran an escort service.
Right. So I get it, but damn, it would have been a very funny image. You and the.
But it'd be a hard time arguing that I wasn't pimping.
No. I get that it fits the bill, but not. It's
No.
It's like escort instead of street
No.
walker.
Yeah.
You were a high level pimp.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we were.
Yeah, you didn't tell me too much about that, but it sounded like it was the fact that it was with Ashley. It sounded like it was lucrative, and then that just
there's certain things I still think you need to know about, right? When you get to certain points, you need to say, "Hey, Brian,
could you elaborate
build
on
this.
that?" Right.
Build this up for me.
Right. And I also what did you want to do in terms of your childhood? Do you want, there's stuff about your grandfather. There's stuff. I mean, do you want to? Shall I Google that, or you can give me more information? I don't know. Do you want to go back? Some people do go back a generation or two.
Uh-huh.
We can do that.
Yeah.
It's not irrelevant.
I would like to go back to the bank robbery connection. That
Is that why he was in jail?
Yeah.
Oh, for
they
God's
killed
sake.
a British soldier during the bank robbery.
Okay.
But
that is that's
fucking guy sends me the family version. This is bullshit. And I know this isn't true. My grandfather, they busted out the prison. What's his name was in there? Famous guy from 1916, from the uprising, the Easter uprising. He was in there. And they busted out the prison.
And this was in Ireland?
Yeah, it was in Northern Ireland, in Dundalk. And my grandfather was one of the ones to escape. But other guys who escaped were in IRB, or IRA, because they became IRA.
Right.
And they put him on a boat to Canada. And they came down through Canada, across the border, into Michigan. And that's where they settled. And that's where he started the UAW.
United Auto Workers. So when you first came, when your family was in Ireland prior to that, the first time they crossed American soil was via Canada into Michigan.
Right. So my uncle started UAW.
Impressive.
And it says in the notes, like, my grandfather just decided to go back because of the Depression. My grandfather turned himself in
order to be
back
extradited?
to England, yeah, because he wasn't going to...
Is that a little unusual?
He wasn't going to... No, his family wasn't eating.
Okay.
Right? So he turned himself in, go back over there. And then after a few years, Joe Kennedy got them back into the United States.
Because of his bootlegging connection.
He's a
or-
fucking gangster.
Yeah, he
had
sure
all
was.
the connections.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he became, my uncle became close with the Kennedys. Hugh Thompson. He's the guy who started the union. He became close with the Kennedys. I guess he was a big supporter, political supporter. He made his guys vote for him and all that stuff.
Right, that's how it worked
was
back then.
Yeah. Yeah. And, then he got him back over here legally. They were over there in London painting cars or something.
So did he ever get to a place of just being a kind of captain of industry type, or he was always that sort of...
My grandfather?
Yeah.
The earliest memories of my grandfather are his house in Buffalo. Old guy.
Nice house?
Yeah.
And that was your father's father?
My father's father, yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And then your father you made him sound a little sort of nice guy, sad sackish, alcoholic. Like,
Well, he was...
it's hard to get a sense of him as a...
He was, apparently... The Korean War changed him. He went
Okay.
to Korea, the
Late
police
50s.
action.
Okay.
He came back a different man. But he was basically, a charmer, charming the ladies,
The gift of gab. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
But what did he do? I mean, you may tell me.
he was a
earlier.
glazer.
Okay. That's someone who does the glass.
Yeah, he was going to go into politics, right? They wanted him to go into politics. And my mother told him, my mother was horrible.
He was with her at that
Yeah,
point.
she said, if you do this, I'm going to tell them that we had sex before we got married.
Huh.
And that would have ruined it. That would've
Yeah,
ended
back
that.
then it would have
Yeah.
actually made an impact back then.
Yeah, no, it would have. Yeah.
Yeah. Barbara Bush did that to George Bush. She said, "You're going to run for president if you don't stop this affair with Jennifer Fitzgerald. I'm gonna out you, and they love
didn't
me
know
and they
that.
hate you." Yeah. I mean, George Bush wasn't a bad guy,
Yeah.
but he did have that long-term
I
affair.
didn't know that.
So your mom was. Why would she want to thwart him in that way? Because she
My
would.
mom's a thwarter. She
Yeah.
never wanted anyone. She never wanted anyone to do better than her.
Correct, and it would have also implied that she would have to probably change her act up a little bit. She'd. But either way, what was his name?
Huh?
What was your dad's name?
My dad's name is Hugh Desmond.
Right.
Thompson.
Yeah, but
I was born Hugh Desmond
I
Thompson.
know. I remember that. It's it's such an elegant name.
Yeah.
So he had his grandfather's name.
And you look at the family tree. Everybody
I know,
has
man, but it's I get it.
Desmond, a Hugh, or
But
Brian.
those are such. So Brian actually came from. Like your mom just.
But she didn't know. She didn't know.
But she gives you the middle name Scott.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
it's all a fine name. It's just not yours.
It was Brian Baru.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, whatever his name was, he just went to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, she changed my name.
Okay.
What's his
Oh,
name?
that's interesting. Yeah, I guess
I
that's.
can't remember his name.
I know there was an astronaut named
Yeah.
Scott. It'll drive me crazy
Yeah.
too, easily enough.
Yeah.
That's. She tagged you with that middle name because an astronaut Scott Glenn. No, that's John Glenn.
No.
Oh, okay, it's easily but they're.
Scott something,
Yeah.
Well, that's where the middle name came from.
Oh, for the love of God!
Yeah. I was like, I could have been Desi my whole life.
Would you like that?
That's a great graffiti tag.
It undoubtedly is a graffiti tag someplace. Better than Omni, that's for sure.
Mm.
Okay. All right, so she changed it up for her own. But just whatever. That's not a terribly problematic for you. You made so your dad was.
Well, it was always so evil to me.
But did you know yourself as Hugh, or you only knew yourself as Brian?
No, I knew myself as Hugh.
Oh, that sucks.
My sisters used to call me Baby Huey.
As of course they do.
That was, not nice.
Yeah. I got Ellen Mellon and
Yeah.
Oh,
The baby
Ellie Mae Clampett. Baby Huey is hilarious.
Big duck in a diaper.
I get it. But that's just what they did.
Yeah.
Okay, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's almost like going into a cult. I'm gonna stick you with a new name now.
Yeah.
The least of what she did, but now you own your name, so it's okay. All
Have you
right.
met Oliver?
No,
He's decided to come out and meet you.
but what up? How you doing?
He's a great
Where's
cat.
Oliver? Very sweet.
He was a feral too.
You just have this Everyone I know who has multiple animals, they're it's a madhouse. But you know how to train them. But so Oliver's yours?
Yeah.
Aww. Cats are supremely indifferent to me.
But he's not indifferent to anything.
But he's really chill.
Yeah. He wants to be a part of everything.
Oh, he's almost like a puppy. Oh, he's beautiful. Jeez.
You used to see him playing grooming with the dogs.
So they all get on
They all
okay.
eat the same bowls. Oh, the food is empty. Azula just ate it all when you came in.
That's right. I heard that.
Yeah. So yeah, everything is fair game.
Including the fact that right. I mean, like, this can pass, but it isn't like, now I'm a happy therapist and I'm in a great, terrific relationship.
I'm struggling.
I know, I dig, but
Yeah.
it's still they want endings that are neat. There's not going to be one.
Yeah.
Which is very endearing, which is the truth. I mean, I would love for you to have nothing, but that's like when Max said a million years ago, we've suffered so much that if we were happy the rest of our lives, it would be warranted. Not that we're so friggin' great, but you know, at some point the suffering needs to live.
I was thinking, when I have 30 years, will I be happy?
I don't know.
When I pass the length of time that I did drugs, will I finally be happy?
I finally did that. The 20 and 20 thing didn't seem any different, but is that how long you?
It's like, when am I going to give myself a break? I was high from the time I was 9 till I was 42.
But you still had the extraordinary, I don't know, wherewithal, plus the extraordinary good luck, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look, this
a lot of luck.
This makes no sense.
Yeah.
But you did you like, should I go to BMCC? Should I not? Well, you went. You know. I figure everyone at BMCC, like all grown-ups who go there, this must be an interesting backstory. There certainly is with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
If people go there, there's a story.
Baby Mama Community College.
Why did they go like that?
Nothing. The summers. Woo! The summers are great.
But the thing is, you also went there and studied to get a master's, to go to Columbia. It's extraordinary.
I was going to go to Columbia, but
Oh, that's right. And then you said if I could, which is a thought.
that was all ego.
Sometimes ego is well applied, though.
Yeah, but
You
I
know,
wouldn't have gotten into any field right away. You know?
Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't have been making money right away.
Huh. Okay, that's okay.
I made more money this year than I've ever made in my life.
Okay.
And didn't cure anything.
Didn't make you happier. Probably eased your path to some
Easily
extent.
double any salary I've ever made.
Aside from the fact that doesn't make you any happier, that's extraordinary. Why is that? Just a build-up of skills and
Why did I?
takes a
why
while.
did I make?
Yeah, you get a following.
I've always worked for other people. You know, businesses
Right.
or nonprofits.
Right. And you don't get rich doing that. The
No.
Catholic Charities thing is
No.
that was not a blip, or just a blip on the radar screen.
It's like my boss made like $70,000, and she ran the show.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, and I guess anything with the word Catholic Charities in it, ironically, is not going to be that lucrative.
Right.
Okay, so that's interesting, but it
Yeah.
doesn't ease. It doesn't. It eases your path logistically, but if you're not, it does. Yeah, I don't think money. I never believed money.
Not at all.
I mean, I don't doubt that. It's nice and all. I have no objection to it.
I've got nothing to show for it.
I don't know about that.
No, I mean, I have. I've moved twice. Back and forth. I've just had, a lot of expenses with the lung surgery, with the dogs.
That's just life. I mean, that's considerable, but that's life on life's terms. Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's not you messing up.
Yeah, haven't
Lung surgery has got to be really pricey.
I didn't go on vacation.
Huh.
July will be 2 years. So it's like
that's not okay. Really?
yeah. Yeah.
Do you go with Michelle back when she went someplace?
Yeah, we used to go. You know.
I mean, I sort of remember that.
She told me 7 times that she didn't need me before, during, and after the surgery.
But she
She had no one else.
And the reason there was no one else is because you were on hand.
And I counted.
7
And I
times.
told her, I said, you told me 7 times. She said, that's because I don't feel I deserve it.
That's very irritating. I remember. I'm sorry. I remember saying that to someone when I was counting days, and she said, "I don't know why you wouldn't deserve it, but it doesn't matter if you deserve it or not. You have it." And in your case, she had your assistance. Do right by the situation.
Yeah.
It's a saboteur thing to say.
Now listen, you could sit with her for a half hour, and she could tell you plenty of bad things about me.
I understand. I don't doubt that. Right. Not her story, but I don't know. I concur. I'm always going to be in your corner. I mean, I get that, but I understand. And she seems like a lovely person. I'm sure I get it.
I'm very far from perfect.
Well, Christ, everyone's far from perfect. But what you've managed to achieve is pretty extraordinary. And it's like I wish I could just pull whatever brain, thing in my brain that is truly astonished and give it to you, because you're the one who did the work. and you also did the work to spin you down, but you pulling yourself up out of that absolute mess and retaining your humanity, getting out of the prison without a scratch.
Yeah,
that takes some skills.
Yeah.
And like you said, you can apply them. You could apply them today in some other context. I don't have that. I mean, I just avoid everything that works after a fashion.
I wish I could do that.
Maybe you can from now on.
Maybe.
But it sounds like you're in transition at the moment.
I'm always in transition.
I guess that's true.
And it's like when I go to work, I have to dress really nice,
right?
And not like a therapist, not like some.
So to split the difference between the stuffy therapist and
yeah,
right? Which I think you do.
It's just like this, suit. I'm just suiting up,
right?
Distracting people.
Right, and I think it would probably. I mean, I like the way you dress because it does seem to split the difference between. I don't know it. I've never been to a therapist. I could probably use one, but I think it shows a certain amount of respect for the profession to show up.
Yeah.
I don't know how uncomfortable. You don't look uncomfortable, but it's you have a game face on.
Yeah, it's my armor.
Yeah. I know when I walked out one time when we were talking in your office, there was a little boy who walked in, and for some reason my heart went out to him. I barely saw him, but I just thought, oh, good, he's in good hands with Brian.
Yeah. Was he a really little boy?
I would say he was maybe 9 or 10.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I have a 6-year-old who I really like.
I got the feeling he was older than that.
Yeah.
But that's...
So maybe one day it'll work out.
Oh, and I'm sure some Pollyanna would say, right now it's working out just the way it's meant to, but not so much. But you're still here. You're still, you have a good sense of humor. You are clothed. You're fabulous. But if you feel like dying, something's not good.
Yeah.
So everyone has to pester you to. Do you have people in your corner who are, just uncomplicated friends who are? I'm sure you have lots of people who dig you, but.
Well, I have 1 or 2 friends. I don't.
You don't need
more than that.
I
but they don't know how I'm feeling.
Huh? They would really?
Really? They don't know how I'm feeling.
People who with whom you have nothing but a good history, but.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was really hard. March will be a year that my mother died.
Right.
And so, it was really bad this time last year. So that really fucked me up.
And you have the muscle memory, you think?
Yeah, I was reliving that.
That happened. I did that.
Sometimes I'd walk out the door. How am I going to get through the day? Yeah. How am I going to do this?
It breaks my heart. I mean, I remember that with my dad, too. I just remember not being able to listen to music for a year. Because it's just
I'm going right back to the fucking hospital.
Yeah, and you were the one mostly in charge of that, or I guess everyone.
Absolutely.
You might have had other people galvanized, but not.
It was me.
Stop doing that.
I was the caretaker.
I know, and there's something I'll never quite understand that, but I enormously respect it because, all right, you finished up, you guys wrapped up. There's no unfinished business between you and your mom.
No.
You didn't have. She wasn't a warm and fuzzy person. You weren't going to get the "I love you." I think you're. That may or but you indicated that she gave her version of that. And I just think there's a lot of grace in you doing something that's like a thankless task. You know?
I did this exercise today, right?
Right.
It was I forget the guy's name. He's a hypnotist, and he writes. And he said, imagine you get on an empty train, and you sit down, and there's two suitcases there, two large suitcases. You have no idea who they belong to. And then on the next stop, in my case, in the next station, imagine your mother gets on the train and she sits down in front of you. And you say hello, and she says hello, and you're very nice to each other, and you're coming up on her stop, and you say, "Here, I believe these are yours."
Okay.
And she walks off with the suitcases, and you watch her walk off with the suitcases. And then you watch as she disappears from your view.
Is that a way of closing the chapter?
And you never have to carry that stuff around again. That's his theory.
How'd that work?
I just did it this afternoon.
And is it something you just sort of
I
repeat?
don't know.
It's sort of there's a lot of train analogies with these things. Picture your moods or thoughts as trains in the station. They just keep going. I don't really necessarily need unfinished business. I mean, unfinished business was nice. I was fortunate to have that with my dad. It was very painful, but he was the sort of person who would step up, and I was sober. But your mom wasn't that person. But she was. She sounds like she got the memo to some extent. But it just.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, she often, but it's just that I couldn't stand her blaming what she did to us on what other people did to her.
No, it's not okay.
Because I didn't.
No, it's bullshit. I guess. Look, someone says like, once you reach, 50, stop suffering. It's like not necessarily easily done, but it's like, how long do you carry it around? Well, you have plenty to carry around. You could give those Louis Vuitton luggages to your mom and send her on her way, but they would be some big ass luggages.
And I don't, sit down and talk to my son like this or anything,
Yeah. I wish, I get that. My son's very circumspect too, but...
My son has no idea of the life I lived.
But doesn't he see it in your eyes? That's interesting.
He doesn't want to know.
Yeah.
He can't handle it.
All right, then I guess he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
But he should, I think if a father says, could you watch the dogs? The answer has to be yes.
Of course.
I mean,
right. My loved one, it could die. At this point, she could die. That's what we were.
I don't know what happened, but if she was getting major...
She had a tumor on her kidney. It had to come out right away.
And she could have one kidney left.
Could have been cancer. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but she could have died during surgery.
Oh, no. It sounded major.
Yeah. They could have. Yeah, they took part of her kidney, and the tumor was perfect. It was everything they hoped it was.
Benign.
Yeah.
Okay, but they had to get rid of it, I gather.
Yeah.
And how did she find out about it? I mean, how did she know she?
I took her to her back was hurting, and I took her over here to urgent care once, and they x-rayed her back. But they said, your back looks fine, but there's something we need to talk about. And they said, there's something on your kidney. And she's like, oh yeah, I had an embolism or something.